Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 348, written by Abbott23, a classic VHS glitch. This all started a few weeks ago when my husband decided to go into his parents' attic in the garage to see if any of his old Pokemon cards were worth any money. His mom has kept literally every toy he's ever had, so there are dozens of boxes of things that we've been going through. We found a box that clearly hasn't been opened in a long time. It was taped up and had plastic grocery bags laid on the top from a store that hasn't been in our town since the 90s, and it's full of his family's old VHS home videos. His parents documented so much of his childhood, so every night we've watched a home video after supper with his parents, and it's been really fun. The videos are from the late 80s, early 90s. A few nights ago, my husband put a new tape in the VHS player, and the first thing we see is my cousin's 16th birthday party from 1994, and I am in the video. His parents have no idea how they have this tape, and the weirder thing is, we have no idea who filmed this tape. I've asked all my aunts and uncles, and no one knows what I'm talking about. The video also has me hunting for Easter eggs at my aunt's house, also in 1994. My parents never owned a video camera, so it's not their tape. It doesn't make any sense how my in-laws have this tape. We've been trying to come up with a logical explanation for this, but we can't. My in-laws say the box of tapes hasn't been opened since they put it in the attic when the garage was built in 2002, which is before I even met my husband. I would have only been 11 years old when they built this garage, so it's been up there the entire time. It's not like I somehow brought this tape over and forgot about it. Case notes. I wonder if somehow the VHS tape was from a different parallel universe, and somehow it crossed over. Of course, we know we can cross over, but it's our consciousness, which isn't physical, it's energy. Can physical objects cross over too? Maybe. And if so, it would explain the contents of the tape, which couldn't have happened in this reality. And yet, there they are, in video evidence. Case file number 349, written by arneedbowwow. Even dealing with the DMV is a bit less confusing than this glitch. This is something weird that happened to me a few years ago. I was filling out paperwork for a new job when I realized my driver's license was missing. I had no idea where it could have been because I always keep it in my wallet. After a day or so of looking all around my car, apartment, boyfriend's car, etc., I went and got a new license. Next week, I go to start my new job. The HR building was the only place I had been at this company up until that point. It was located a couple of streets over and had a different parking lot than the deck I would be parking every day. So, my first day of work was the first time I had ever been on that deck. I parked and started walking towards the elevators. I was almost to the elevator when I noticed something on the ground a few feet in front of me. It was my lost driver's license. I have no idea how it got there in that parking deck. I know I didn't somehow drop it that morning because it was in front of me. I noticed it as I was walking towards it. I know this story isn't that big a deal, but it was just so strange that I still think about it sometimes. Case file number 350, written by Misercakes. All I want to do is plug in my phone, and then the universe goes and changes the outlet. Bad universe. I'm gonna try to keep this short, but it's really been freaking me out. I recently traveled across the country, stayed for 2 weeks and returned Sunday. I was visiting my boyfriend, and we had a very emotional departure. I always pay extra for window seats on planes. I love being able to watch out of them. I board the plane, and the window seat doesn't have a window. It's just a plain wall. I was aggravated, but I brushed it off. I was very emotional, and ended up falling asleep on the plane. I woke up suddenly, had no idea what time it was, where in the sky I was, how much longer I had on the flight, or how long I had been asleep. I felt very wrong, and like something was just incorrect. I almost felt scared and definitely confused. I landed, I got picked up by a friend, stayed at her house, then went home yesterday. As I walked into my house, I felt sort of out of place, but I chalked it up to me being gone for 2 weeks. I eventually went downstairs to my room, and I instantly felt that something was different. It didn't seem like it was my room, almost like it was someone else's and I was just in it. I was very emotional still, very tired, and I just wanted to unload my bags. So I ignored it, and a few minutes later, I went to plug in my phone charger, and the outlet was in the wrong spot. I have my bathroom door/wall, then my nightstand, then my bed, then another outlet on the other side of my bed. I always complain about how plugging my charger up in that outlet bends the cord, as I have to pull it up on top of the nightstand to use it, as the other outlet has other things plugged in. The nightstand is up against the wall, and my bed is up against the nightstand, and the other outlet perfectly lines up to where it's right at the other edge of the mattress. Now, the outlet is between the nightstand and my bed, up higher on the wall to where it's above the mattress and by the pillows. It's a good 3 to 4 inches to the left. I know it's moved. I have even pulled up pictures and videos that have had my room in them, and the outlet isn't visible in them, as it was behind the nightstand. I live alone, so it's not a matter of my furniture being moved, and everything else is in the exact same spot it's always been in. I have no explanation for it, and it's bugging me. Could I have slipped into another dimension or reality? Or am I just going crazy? Or is there somehow a logical explanation? Edit. I've gotten a lot more replies than I thought I would, and a lot of these theories are really interesting to me, and I'm going to take the time in the next couple of weeks to look more into them. No one was in my house at all. My child and his father were at his house the entire 2 weeks, and his father doesn't have a key or any other way to access the house. No one was house sitting, and I don't think someone would break in just to change my outlet position. As for pictures, I didn't mean I had a previous picture of my room and that wall alone, by itself. I was referring to pictures and videos of my son running and playing in my room, and I don't feel comfortable posting content of him here. But I have asked my child's father about it now, and he also agrees that it seems to be moved. And as for my mental health, I was emotional, but not hysterical. It has crossed my mind that maybe I was jet-lagged, overly tired, or stressed or something, but I've caught up on sleep and I don't feel stressed or emotional or anything now, and I can still clearly remember it being in a different spot than what it is now. Case file number 351, written by OneEyedCoral. This is one hell of a gassy glitch. I thought long and hard about posting this or not, because it will look like I'm trolling or stupid, which I very well may be, but I swear to you, I'm not making this up. So this happened today. I was sitting on the toilet, doing my thing, when suddenly and out of nowhere, I hear this very clear fart noise, for lack of a better term. And yeah, I'm 100% sure it wasn't coming from me. Immediately I was like, what the fuck? It sort of sounded like a cartoonish fart, or like something you would hear in a comedy movie, and it sounded like it was coming from someone standing right next to me, but as you can imagine, there was no one else in the bathroom. I live alone in a second-floor apartment. I guess the most logical explanation, besides myself, would be it was a neighbor, but I really doubt that. Never heard anything like this before, and there was no one outside underneath my bathroom window or anything like that. I just know it wasn't me, because usually I don't get spooked by my own farts, and this may sound a little gross, for science, but here's the thing, when I'm letting out a product while sitting on the toilet, that sound is coming from underneath or behind me, but the sound I heard was very clearly coming from besides me. It was to my right. I mean, that's not how farts work, right? I don't know what else to say about this experience, but here's my conclusion. I think some kind of entity or energy, or whatever you want to call it, it can't possibly be a poop demon, was with me in that bathroom, making that cartoonish fart noise. This was its way to imitate or mock me. Sounds weird, but somehow that makes the most sense to me. That's what I felt, at least. So that's my wonderful poop ghost encounter. Thoughts? Bonus file, written by Care Representative 49. When you adopt one cat and get an extra ghost cat as a bonus. Background information. I rescued a black cat, Maine Coon, Bombay mix, about 2 years ago. I named him Gomez, after Gomez Adams, of course, because he's super affectionate and very needy, as he was abused prior to me adopting him. Recently, he has been acting a bit odd, more than usual, I should say. Prior to this experience, he has occasionally seemed like he was chasing or playing with something else, but obviously, I saw nothing. He is a cat though, so they do weird things like having the zoomies at random times. But I have also occasionally felt a cat rubbing against my leg, and when I look down, Gomez is nowhere in sight. I had not thought much of it due to my mental health issues, along with psychiatric medications. Moving forward, all these experiences seem to lead to another possible option. Gomez came with a paranormal buddy. A few nights ago, around 5 to 6 a.m., Gomez kept desperately trying to wake me up and would not leave me alone. I thought nothing of it, as he occasionally does this if he does not sleep well and requires extra cuddles at night. Then he finally left me alone after like 30 to 45 minutes, so whatever, no big deal. Went back to sleep. His food dispensed from his little robot feeder, and he jumped down to eat. Not too long after, I felt paws crawl on my hip and lie down. This is where he normally sleeps, so again, no big deal. Well, I then heard Gomez crunching on his food, so I got confused and slightly woke up. I swear, I saw another cat lying on me. It looked like white with spots, so definitely not Gomez. Then Gomez jumped up, the weight lifted off my hip, and then he laid down on me. So long story short, I'm not sure if I was hallucinating, night terrors, sleep paralysis, and bipolar for the win, still dreaming while half awake, or I had a ghost cat in my house. Gomez has been running around a lot more than normal and staring off in my room, occasionally seeming like he is following something with his gaze. With all of that being said, if I adopted Gomez and he came with a little ghost companion, I get 2 cats for the price of 1, and only one of them eats and requires vet insurance, so I'm going to mark it as a win. Update. Spooky ghost cat's name is now Jinx, since the gender is unknown, and also, 2 things said at the same time with one name, and I got 2 cats for 1. Case notes. By this point I would say I'm fairly confident that ghosts exist. Maybe they're just echoes of people, humans, but there's no reason it couldn't apply to animals as well. I mean, they are sentient. If you want to say, do they have souls? Well, depends how you would define a soul, right? Could they leave an imprint behind like humans do? Sure, why not? It's not as common to see them, though. Maybe they have to be a certain level of intelligence. I don't know. How many animal spirits are there out there?